Okay, here begins the recording of our meeting. Good evening. We'll be going over solving, what's this subject? It's solving up, manipulating and solving equations. There you go. And okay, so we agreed that it's -8. I'll give you that. But what's the explanation you have for why it's -8? What did you solve it?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm trying to figure it out right now.
Remember. It's not about remembering in math. You have to solve it on the spot as you're cheating.
Sir,
Anyone else?
yes, sir.
I'm listening. For number
Yes,
one.
they're saying that a plus b is equal to -2. So
Uh-huh.
where there's a plus b, we have just put it -2 and to
Uh-huh.
root it. Yes, that's why we got the -8.
Yeah, that is correct. So it's just a plus b equal -2. Therefore, a plus b cubed is -2 cubed. And so you get -8. Good job. Now what for number two? Right here, let me zoom in a bit. Number two, what's the value? What value of n causes this to be true? Before you answer, can we think of in what case can um two numbers two different numbers. You can have two different numbers, you square them and you get the same number. What can cause this to happen? Can anyone list some ways in which this can happen?
Yes, sir. If one of the numbers is a power of the other number.
Is that so? Are you sure?
Remind me of your question?
In what case can you have two numbers where you square them and two different numbers where you square them and you get the same answer? What case usually causes this to happen?
Oh, and I said when one number is an expression of the other number in exponential form. Is this valid?
I wouldn't say so because let's take 2 and 4, right? 2 squared is 4, 4 squared is 16. So there's no you didn't end up with the same answer, even though 2 squared is 4 or 4 to the half is 2. So that doesn't work.
I
Any
said
other
no
way?
number occurs that way.
Sir,
Yeah, I'm listening.
sir, what if it has something to do with the signs, sir? Like
I'm listening.
two positive numbers and the two negative numbers?
We're close, but I'd say when one number is positive and one number is negative. So 1 squared is 1, -1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4, -2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9, -3 squared is also 9. So you can have two different numbers have the same square when one is the negative of the other. So that's some good background to have when solving this equation. I would say.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that being said, what's the answer for this?
Number three, sir.
Number two.
Choice D, sir.
What did you say?
I said choice D.
Number two doesn't have any choices. Number two, right here.
Sorry. I was
Yeah.
reading it. Sorry.
Sir.
I'm listening.
So I believe the answer is 1.
Explain.
Well, sir, because as you said, any number that the negative and the positive one squared will give the same result. So 1 minus 4 will give you -3.
Yep.
So maybe that would equal negative 3 squared would equal to 9.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot that that would be 5 squared. So 1 can't be it, right?
That is correct.
A better chance or a better answer would be 0, sir.
Explain.
0 minus 4 is negative 4. 0 plus 4 is still 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. Positive 4 squared.
Yeah, that's right. The answer is indeed 0. Okay,
Thank you.
number 3. Is there anyone who doesn't understand how you achieve, how you'd arrive at 0? And if you don't wanna, yeah, someone raise their hand. Go ahead. I'm listening. Okay, did you understand my first question about how can two different numbers, how can you have two different numbers, you square them, and the result you get is the same? Did you understand that part of our reasoning? Okay, so I think how he got 0 was basically like, he looked at it, right, and he's like, okay, you subtract 4 from one of the numbers and you add 4 to one of the numbers, and you get the same number. So if one of them if one of these numbers have to be the negative of the other number, then it has to be 0, right? Because it's n minus 4 and n plus 4. And if you must end up with a number and the negative of that number, then it has to be 0. Because it would be 0 minus 4 and 0 plus 4, which gives you positive 4 and negative 4. Any other number other than 0 would not give you the same positive and negative. It would give you a positive and a different negative. That's why it has to be 0. But if you want to actually, if you want to like, go ahead and solve this, would I actually recommend solving it? Yeah. Okay, let's say that they decide to be more cruel, and they give you some different numbers. Or let's just try and solve this the way how you're actually supposed to. Because of the sign, it has to be 0, because you want a negative number and the positive version of that number, or vice versa. And 0 is the only way you can get that. But let's say that they didn't just give you n and they gave you something like 2n for one of them, or they gave you n minus 5 and n plus 2. Let's see how you would actually solve that using this same example here. So let's say we have n minus 4 squared, and this is equal to n plus 4 squared. And we want to find what the value of n is. So what you would actually do if you're not taking any shortcuts or realizing any patterns is that you would what I would do is I would expand this. So to expand this, it would be n squared minus 8n plus 16. This is equal to n squared plus 8n. N squared plus 8n plus 16. N squared 6n squared minus 2. Okay. Yes. And then from here, we try to solve for n, right? And we can do this by, first we can, this is basically how you solve typical equations, right? So we have n squared on both sides. We can subtract that from both sides. So we get rid of that. N squared minus n squared minus n squared. That's gone. We can do the same with the 16. And then we're left with 8n equal, negative 8n is equal to 8n. We am I doing something wrong here? Negative 8. Okay, negative 8n
Sir,
is equal to 8n. Yeah,
so did the 16 and n squared just cancel each other out?
the what? The
Like,
what?
I was wondering, did you arrive at 8n equals 8, negative 8n equals 8n?
Okay, let me, I took a shortcut there. Let me explain what happened here. So we subtract n squared from both sides. And then we have negative 8n. Yeah, they cancel. But let me just not be shorthand here. Is equal to 8n plus 16. And then I did subtract 16 from both sides. And we get negative 8n is equal to 8 and
Okay,
then
sir.
we divide both sides by negative 8 or 8, and then we get negative n is equal to n. Then we have to ask ourselves, what value of n is this true for? If this ever comes up, right, where you have negative n is equal to n, this is only true for one number. And so that you remember this, I'll give you some visual stimulus, right? We have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. If you ever see that a negative number is equal to the number of itself when solving something, it has to be 0, because negative 0 is 0 because it is the middle of the number line. And the actual way to do this, in case you don't want any shorthands whatsoever, you get negative n equal n, right? And what do we do? What will we do? We will okay. I'm thinking about if I should do this, but okay, here we go. So negative n equal n, right? Let's add n to both sides. 0 is equal to 2n. 0 is equal to 2n. We divide both sides by 2. 0 divided by 2 equal n. Therefore, n is equal to 0. But by the reason, yes, 0 can be classified as negative. Yeah, that's true. The reason I didn't want to go here and I want to go here is to help you think, give you more information to think. Yes, we can follow the algebra all the way through with what I just did here. But this part here, negative n equal n, also reinforces the entire problem in and of itself. So that's why I did that little detour. hopefully you understand now. We'll get back to the questions. So again, for this question, there's looking at it and like doing a super shortcut and testing if it works. So you guess it's 0 and 0 works. You confirm it by plugging in 0. You be like, yes, that works. You can do the algebraic version that I just did and work it all the way down. Or you work it until you realize that negative n equal n, and that can only be 0. So that's 2.5 methods of figuring that one out. Number 3, if 1 over a times b over c is equal to 1, what is the value of b minus ac?
Choice D, the answer cannot be given from the information
Why do you say so?
because I multiplied both the top and the bottom and I got B over AC, but nothing in the problem tells me what to do with it.
That's a big rush there. I usually stray away from D because it's kind of definite. It implies that you've exhausted all options, right? That you've thought about it for like a day or so, and
Yeah, I also did it the other way where I cross multiplied and no, that wasn't have any aid either. I know it's tempting, but check it out.
okay. So D, you also said D. Okay, let's write this out. So it's 1 over a times b over c equal 1, right? So as you said, you can multiply it out and you get b divided by ac equal 1, right? B divided by ac equal 1. So
What? Divided by AC is equal to 1.
yeah, b over ac, because it's you multiply the fraction out, right? 1 times b divided by, it would be 1 times b and a times c. So b divided by ac equal 1. So given that do we agree on this, by the way? Or does anyone not understand what I just said? If not, I'll go to the whiteboard. 1 over a times b over c. Okay, let's go to the whiteboard. So curve 1 over a times b over c. Is equal to 1. We multiply this out and we get b over ac is equal to 1. Okay, is there anything we can garner from this information?
You would times the 1 by the b and you would get the 1 and you would just put it over the AC.
Repeat that?
Oh, what we can garner from this?
Can you
I
repeat
just
that?
realized something. Sir, I think the answer is 0.
Yep. 1.
If A over AC equals 1, we know from before that any number over itself also use 1. Means B and A times C is the same number. For example, if B is 5, AC is also 5. So 5 over 5 is 1. 5 minus 5 is 0.
Yep.
Does that make it?
Yep. So B equal AC. And it also follows that AC equal B, right? And the question asks us, what's B minus AC, right? So since B minus AC, if you sub this equation into this, you get B minus B, which is 0. Okay, is there anyone who doesn't understand? Raise
Yeah,
your hand or
sure.
type in chat,
Yeah.
or you can just say, what was that?
I don't understand.
Okay, which step along the way don't you understand? This is step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, which step do you not understand?
Sir, I don't understand from 2.
As in, how to multiply fractions?
No, like as in how you come across with like what leads you to getting 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I could explain this, but I'll just do it algebraically. I think people have a way of grasping things when they're in algebra. So B over AC is equal to 1. We can multiply both sides by AC, right? You guys agree with that, right? B divided by AC equal 1. We can multiply both sides by AC. So this would mean B is equal to 1 times AC, which means B is equal to AC. In other words, if you didn't want to do this, you could realize that any number divided by itself is equal to 1. If you see any type of formula, x over y equal 1, this means x equal y, because that's just the property. That's just a property of numbers. Any number over itself is equal to 1. Any number over itself is equal to 1. That's what I mean. And any number divided by 1 is equal to itself. And it is also true that if it was x over y is equal to -1, then that would mean that x is equal to -1. But if you don't want to remember the theory, you can do it algebraically. B divided by AC is equal to 1. Multiply both sides by AC. The AC here would cancel. AC divided by AC would cancel. You're left with B. B is equal to 1 times AC. B is equal to AC. Does that clear it up, or do I still need to explain more? Just let me know. I'm willing.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, but do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That I could help. Okay, number 4. Oh, this also that back. Try to avoid D as much as possible. It cannot be determined. Try to avoid that answer. Like only if you're sure that that is the answer. Number 4. If 3x minus 8 is equal to -23, what is the value of 6x minus 7?
So I will go with answer choice D,
Why?
because first of all, I have to find the value of x.
Uh-huh.
Then after finding the value of x, I've just found that it's -5. Then we place it in 6x. I have to put -5 in 6x and multiply it.
Uh-huh.
After multiplying it, I found that it's -30 minus 7, and that's giving me -37.
Okay, yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. The only alteration I would make is that I wouldn't go all the way down to finding what x is. That's the only difference I make. I'll show you what I do.
Negative 37 is my answer. Is it an answer choice?
Yes, it was answered. Someone beat you to it this time. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yes, sir.
so I wouldn't go all the way down to x, but that is preferable for you to do. So it's 3x minus 8 equal 23, negative 23. We add 8 to both sides and we get 3x is equal to negative 15, right? We add 8 to both sides, you get negative 15. Now it's asking us what 6x minus 7 is. So if 3x is negative 15, 6x is negative 30. 6x minus 7 is negative 37. So I wouldn't go all the way down to what x is, only because the question is asking me for what 6x minus 7 is. So once I find 3x, I know what 6x is, and I can easily subtract 7. But yeah, that works too. It does take more time to go all the way down to x, which is why I wouldn't do it, because the SATs are very time sensitive. But feel free to do what you prefer. Number 5. What is the value of m? Okay, I'll ask you this. Given that it's multiple choice, can you tell what m is like right off the bat by just looking at this question? Which one of these could possibly be m? What do you think?
Answer choice
2
A.
over 3.
What was that?
2 over 3 could possibly. I'm just a guessing.
Or
What was
1
that?
over 6. Just like
Alright,
Stop being
let's-
like a brat, no?
let's-
Shut up.
let's be okay. What good guess? Good guess. So let's do process of elimination. Which could definitely, not in a million years, be the answer.
6.
6.
Why?
Fraction.
Can you please mute your mic? You have a lot of background noise.
I said because 6 ain't a fraction.
Is that what? 6 is a fraction. 6 is 6 over 1.
You know, like those kind of fraction. It really is not gonna change anything. We're gonna just make the numbers a little bigger.
Okay. I don't think that's a valid reason to read it out. But I would go off of scale. I can look at these two fractions here, 4 over 9 and 8 over 3, and I can have an image in my mind of what numbers these are, right? So for example, 4 over 9, that's roughly a half, right? It's 4.5 over 9 would be a half, right? 8 over 3 is almost 3, right? You guys see where I'm getting at? 4 over 9 is roughly a half. 8 over 3 is almost 3. Like it's 2 and 2/3. It's almost 3, right? So if 4 over 9 is roughly a half and 8 over 3 is almost 3, multiplying it by 6, multiplying almost 3 by 6 will not get you to a half. It will make things worse. It will send it much further away from where we're aiming. 5 over 6 doesn't, it reduces it, it brings it closer, but it doesn't do enough work to get it down to a half. Let me pull up a screen share here. So as we said, the 4/9, the 4/9 is roughly a half, and the what was the other one? 8/3, was it? 8/3. This is roughly 3. It's almost there. So what do we do to 3 to get it to a half? And the answer choices we have are, let me share my entire screen. Hopefully this works. Oh, and it gets rid of the whiteboard. How nice. So the answer choices we have are, give me a second. 1/6, 2/3, 5/6. So we have 1/3 being an answer choice. No. 1/6, 2/3. My bad. So we have 1/6 being an answer choice. We have 2/3 being an answer choice. We have 5/6 being an answer choice, and we have 6. So we already rooted out this one, right? 6 times 3 is 18, nowhere near a half. 5/6, it reduces 3 by a little bit. It's gonna get you to like 2.5, which is still way too far from a half, right? 2/3, it's gonna get you to 2, which is still not adequate. It's still a good deal off. 1/6 times 3, that's gonna get you to around a half. It would actually get you to precisely a half, but remember that these are the actual numbers we're looking at. These are the rough estimates that are easier to work with in our head. So this didn't do the job, this didn't do the job. This is close. This is the only one that would get you to reduce 3 to this actual number here. So this is only a shorthand because the SAT is time sensitive. This is how I would approach it. I would look at those numbers and I'd easily like shade a 6, shade 1/6, and then move on, right? I wouldn't linger with this question. It would be, I look at it, boom, 1/6, and I'm on to the next question. But if you can't grasp this yet, then I will do the actual way in which you would do this question. The actual way that I recommend. So it's 4/9 is equal to 8/3 times m. So obviously you can divide both sides by 8/3, which is the same thing as multiplying 4/9 times 3/8, which is, and let me cancel 1, 2, 1, 3, 1/6. You get m is equal to 1/6, or 1/6 equal m. You could also scale this one up here, the 8/3. Say 4/9 is equal to, and you're like, okay, this is over 3. If it's 8/3, then if I multiply the top and bottom by 3, I'll get 24/9. And 4 is equal to 24 times something, because the 9s would cancel at this point, right? 4 is 1/6 of 24, or 24 divided by 6 gives you 4. Therefore, m is 1/6. So those are 3 ways to get the answer. I'm sure you guys could do it if you spend some time. But I was just showing you the fastest way to do it by like just looking at the answers and seeing which ones are definitely out and which one makes the most sense, even if it isn't precise. But in this case, it was precise. Let's get back to the questions. Time is really going. I've been spending a lot of time on these questions. If 3x plus 1 is equal to -8, what is the value of x plus 2 cubed? No calculator. Can we do this in our heads?
Sir, we can. And all right, I haven't solved it yet. This is just how I would do it. First thing I would do is remove the 1 from that side, making it negative. So it's 3x equals -9. So we know that x is -3.
Yeah.
Oh, -3 plus 2 all cubed. -3 plus 2 is 1. 1 cubed is 1. Am I right?
Yep. Is there anyone who disagrees?
No, sir.
Yeah, so in case you didn't hear that, it's 3x plus 1 equal -8. Therefore, 3x is equal to -8 minus 1. 3x is equal to -9. X equal -3. -3 plus 2 is -1. And then what? Then it's -1 cubed, which is not 1, but -1.
It was -1, sir.
Yes. Right? -3 plus 2, -1. -1 cubed is -1. Not 1, but -1. Because it's an odd power. I don't, you guys should know this by now, but if you have negative a, right, and raised to the n, then if n is even, if it's an even number, then the answer, if n is even, then the answer will be positive. If n is odd, the answer will be negative. If n is even, the answer is positive. If n, not the answer. Yeah, the answer is positive. If n is odd, the answer is negative because it flips. So it would be like, let's do -2. -2, right? Squared 4. Cubed -8. Fourth power 16. Fifth power -32. Sixth power 64. Seventh power -128. That's how that works. So it alternates between odd and even, the power. Next question. If 4 divided by k plus 2 is equal to x over 3, where k is not equal to -2, what is k in terms of x? And the reason they put k is not equal to -2 is because when k is -2, this this fraction here is undefined. This would be undefined because it would be 4 divided by 0, and that ruins the question. So ignore this. Whenever you say where k is not equal to, after you see fractions and you see this, not equal sign, ignore that for the most part. Unless they're asking you other than -2, what could the answer be? Then obviously you don't put -2 as the answer, right? But most times you ignore this. It's not for you, it's a technicality thing. What is k in terms of x? So this is a transposition question. So 4 over k plus 2. 4 over k plus 2 is equal to what did they say? X over 3.
X over
2 over,
So, and they're asking us to, what is k in terms of x? How would we do this, guys?
Cross multiply first.
Multiply.
Okay. And that gives us, the cross multiply, we get 12.
4 times 12 and 2x.
K plus 2x. Now what?
Multiply both sides by 2.
Okay, let's try that. By 2, you said? Now what?
So my way to do it is divide both sides by x plus 2x, which is 3x. So our final answer will be 12 over 3x.
Wait, what was that?
We divide both sides by x plus 2x.
X plus 2. Wait, where would you do this step? Here or here?
No, at the one with the 12.
Okay. I followed through with multiplying everything by 2, but as you could see, it didn't help. It did not help. Nice try there. So what do you say we should do?
After you, you divide 12 as well as the other expression on the right by x plus 2x, while underneath you simplify x plus 2x as 3x. So you divide a 3x as well as a 12 by 3, which leaves us with 4 over x equals k.
I divide both sides by x plus 2x.
Yes. Which leaves us with 12 over x plus 2x. X plus 2x is the same as 3x. And
So
we
it
divide
would be
12,
12. It would be 12 over 3x. Yeah.
and we divide both of them by 3, which leaves us k is equals to 4 over x.
Okay, so wait, how did you get k by itself?
It's what I did with the division to get k by itself, sir.
You divided the kx plus 2x by x plus 2x,
No,
and you
we divided just
got,
the x plus 2x, leaving just the k by itself.
yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Okay. I'll try another approach.
Yeah, you could only do that if it said this, right? If it said k x plus 2x, then yes, you could do that. But it didn't. It said k times x plus 2x. So let's get back to 12 equal kx plus 2x. Any other approaches?
Sir, I think we should add both sides by negative 2x.
You repeat that?
I think we should add both sides by negative 2x.
So add negative 2x to both sides, you said?
Mm.
Okay. Now what?
Divide both sides by x.
Okay. 12 over x is minus 2 is equal to k. Now what?
I'm stuck, sir.
Okay, let's go back then. Anyone else?
Couldn't we build on that idea?
Yes, we could, but it's not time efficient to do so.
Oh, because I was going to, the answer would be like 8 or 10. Sorry.
We're not trying to find an answer. We're trying to find an expression. We're trying to find
Oh.
what k is equal to. So here, once we're here, the correct thing to do, it begins with f. F. What is that thing?
Repeat what you just said.
What is k in terms of x? The correct thing to do here begins with f. It's a mathematical term beginning with f.
Oh, flip.
No, try again.
Flip formula.
Nope, try again.
You said
Anyone?
F, right?
Yep. If you're on the right track, try again. No one? Okay, I'll go ahead. So you factor. You factor out x from the left side, and you get k. You get x k plus 2. Then they're asking you for what is k in terms of x, right?
Hmm.
Then you divide both sides by k plus 2.
Wow.
There you go.
Huh?
I was close to that, weren't I?
You just have to learn to factor. You need to learn how to do this for if you want more like a whole video on this, you just Google transposition on YouTube. So you go
Bro,
transposition.
transposition.
Then pretty much watch any video on transposition. If it is solving equations, transposition lesson, and that's all you need right there.
So the answer is X.
No, the answer is 12 over k plus 2. Because let me go back to the question so you understand. Oh, they don't have that, do they? What is k in terms of it? Oh, they're asking for k. You're asking for k. My bad.
The answer is A.
Huh?
Yes, the
The
answer is
answer
A.
is A.
I'm sure my point values now.
Let's go back to find you're asking for what exactly you're asking. So again, it is about factoring, but since they're asking for x in terms of k, then it would be 12. You divide by x instead, right? Divide 12 by x, get x. 12 over x is equal to k plus 2. And therefore k is equal to 12 over x. Twelve over x minus is equal to k. So 12 over x minus 2 is equal to k. No, my question to you guys is which one of these represents that? Twelve over x minus 2 is equal to k. Which one of these is saying that?
12 over x.
D.
Huh?
A is the actual answer.
D.
No, but it's 12 over x, not 12x.
Incorrect.
You said 12 over x minus 2 is equal to k, right?
Yeah. So which one of these is saying 12 over x minus 2?
So that's A.
Why? Why is that so?
Well, sir, because when you say 12 over x minus 2, sir, you're basically implying that 12 and 2 has the same exact denominator, which is x.
No, that's not how you do it. Like if you say 1 over 2 minus 1, then you're not saying that 1 here has a denominator of 2. So how would you do this? How would you work this out? Half minus 1. Let's not use a half. Let us use 10. 10 over 2 minus 1. How would you work this out?
I would turn 1 into a fraction of 1 over 1 and cross multiply to get the same denominators and solve.
Repeat that?
I'd first change 1 into a fraction by itself as 1 over 1. Then I would multiply to get the same denominator and solve.
You would do what? How would you get the same denominator?
All right, say we have 10 over 2 minus 1, which is the same as 1 over 1. So 10 over 2 minus 1 over 1. We just multiply as well as cross multiply. I think I learned in the book. So
Wait,
2 times,
multiply?
all right, we multiply across and we multiply straight. You multiply the ones at the bottom straight, and you also cross multiply as well.
What do you mean?
All right,
Just tell me what to write.
all right, no problem. 10 times 1 equals 10 minus 2 times 1 2 times negative 1, sorry, equals the negative 2. So it's 10 minus 2
Yeah.
over 2 times 1 equals 2. So our denominator is 2.
Yeah. I thought that's what you meant, but that's a very weird way to do it. To explain
It
it,
is?
cross
Oh, sorry.
multiplying you only call it cross multiplying when you have an equal sign and two fractions or something like that. This is cross multiplying. You never call this cross multiplying. It's very confusing. I mean, if it works for you, then yeah, do that, right? You got the correct answer, but cross multiplying, I wouldn't call it that. That's not what that is. Okay, so what you basically did here is you made it so you could work with this 1 here by changing it to the same denominator. And it's the same thing you do with the 12 over x minus 2. What you're actually supposed to do is you multiply both the top and the bottom of this fraction over here by the denominator here. So it's 12 over x minus 2 over x. And this 2x Because you have to multiply both the top and the bottom. So it's 2 times x.
Then we
One.
lose the x's.
Huh?
Afterward, we can, that equation can also be written as 12 minus 2x over x. Since the denominators are already the same, then we just divide the x's on both sides to lose them, which leaves us with 10,
Wait,
right?
wait. What? Repeat that. Repeat that.
Since you already have 12 over x minus 2x over x, the denominators are both x, so we can
Yeah.
write them over as 12 minus 2x over x once.
Uh-huh.
And because x is in both the denominator and the numerator, it can be canceled.
No. How would you cancel that?
In that x's are in them both. Once we just cross them out. You're not following?
No, you can't do that.
Okay, I'll try another approach.
Again, you could only cancel if it said this. If it said 12 minus 2x.
Sorry.
These brackets are not there, so you can't cancel it. You can only cancel the denominator and the numerator if it is being multiplied by everything else. If you have like ax, yes, you can cancel. If you have a plus x, no, you cannot cancel. If you have b plus a over x plus ax over x, you cannot cancel. If you have b x, then yes, you can cancel here. But you can only cancel here because bx plus ax is equal to x b plus a. B plus a over x. Then you can cancel the x's. Well, if that's not the case, you can cancel. Be very careful here. Try not to make that mistake in the exam. Okay, if x minus 3 squared is equal to 36 and x is less than 0, what is the value of x squared? How do you guys approach this?
First thing I will do, I'll take the square root of both numbers. So it's x minus 3 equals to 6, and which leaves me with x equals to 9. 9 squared is 81. Correct? Hello?
Yeah, I heard you. Anyone else agree or disagree? Anyone agree or disagree? No one?
Which of the questions was it, sir?
Number 8. No? Okay, did you consider this right here? And x is less than 0?
Sir, could you give me 1 more minute?
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. We mistake
Sure.
X is 1 here, sorry.
Sir,
I'm listening.
I was wondering if I could get 1 more minute to finish working.
Yeah, go ahead. You can't use a minute in the test now.
Sir, would x be 9? No, x squared would be 9, sir?
X squared would be 9.
Yes, sir.
Explain where you got that.
Well, sir, well, it says x minus 3 all squared is equals to 36. And sir, and x is less than 0, mean that x has to be a negative number, correct? Sir, and then with the fact then being that x is less than 0, the only possible number for x to be, the number that I replaced with for x is negative 3. So I said that negative 3 minus 3 gave me negative 6. And when that's squared, it gave me 36.
Mhm.
And then I squared the value of x, it gave me 9.
Okay. How did you get negative 3 for what x is?
So because negative 3 minus negative 3 will give me the negative 6 I need to square to get 36.
Okay. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
I'll explain for those who didn't get it. What was it? X minus 3 squared.
Yes, sir. All squared.
Okay. So the roots of 36. So this basically means x minus 3 gives you 6 or negative 6. So plus or minus 6. Is there anyone who doesn't understand this? Speak quickly. Okay, I'll take that as everyone understands this. So since x has to be negative, first let's figure out the values that work. So x minus 3, if x minus 3 is equal to 6, positive 6, then x is equal to 9. If x minus 3 equal negative 6, x is equal to negative 3. Negative 3. Only one of these is negative, so we take the negative 1. Since the question asks us for the negative 1. And negative 3 squared is 9. So that's how we get 9. Hope everyone got that. I think it's pretty straightforward. If you don't know, raise your hand or indicate in chat.
I get it.
Let's see if we can get 2 more questions in. Wow, this one is interesting. The formula above gives the future value.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse
The
me?
last question that the last question that you did is x negative 9 or is it x squared negative 9?
X squared is negative 9.
Oh, okay.
Because x is negative 3. F equal, okay. The formula above gives the future value f of an annuity based on the month of payment P, the interest rate I, and the number of months N. Which of the following gives P in terms of F, I, and N? This one is easier than it looks. Just look at what it's asking. Look at the equation.
Gives.
P.
Oh,
You're asking which of the following gives P.
all right. So the answer is, because what we could do, just divide both sides by P, which will make one with F over P in it. Oh, I'll just get finished. Let's.
Okay, you don't have to give me the answer, but what would you do? Tell me what you're thinking. That's more important to me helping you than the answer you come up with.
What I would do is I'll divide both sides to negate the P, so it'd be something with F or P in it, but I don't think that's really that feasible, so I'm testing it.
If you divide both sides by P, then you get F over P. And then how would you get rid of the F, right?
You
A,
divide both sides by
you have to tell me how you got A. If you're gonna say A. How would you get rid of the S then?
what I would do, I would divide both sides by the numbers that are in the brackets. Then I would use the reciprocal, which will give me F, which will give me P is equal to F over 1 times I over I 1 plus I to the power n minus 1. Then I would multiply. The answer would be A.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm lost.
Okay. I'll show you guys how easy this is. So
Sir, I'm stuck.
you overthought it. Let me show you how easy it is. So it's P and then something up here. Let's just call all of that A over I, right? How about no? Can you guys solve it? No. It's the same thing. F is equal to P times something over I. Can you guys solve it now? For F or
So
P? I didn't hear that.
Working
P
on it.
by A and P multiplied by I.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
So we would get PA for the numerator.
E A. Yeah. What else is over here?
And we'll get PI for the numerator.
No, that's not how you multiply fractions.
Can I just on a high? Sir,
2 times 1 over 2. It doesn't give you 2 times 1 for the numerator and 2 times 2 for the numerator. It gives you 2 times 1, 2 for the numerator, and you keep the denominator, making it 1. That's how you multiply fractions. Only the numerator. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, I think if we want P, why not just multiply F by A over J?
That's
I want
I.
your example. Why not just multiply by a over I?
Multiply?
It seems, huh?
Multiply? Okay, let's do that. So f times a,
Oh, sorry, not multiply. I meant divided by it. Sorry.
okay.
It's already
Yeah,
being
we divide,
multiplied.
okay, so let's divide f by a over I equal p. Well, good news is we have p on one side. What now? What
Mean that
now?
we can write f over a over I is as the same as f times I over a. We can simplify it that way. So we write p
Brilliant.
equals f times I over a.
Yep. Is that answer there?
I took long to catch on, but I finally got it.
P equal fi over a. Is that answer there? Look at all the answer choices. We're looking for fi over a. And remember, I just put a instead of writing out 1 plus I to the n minus 1, because that didn't matter in this question.
Yes,
So
it
if we
is.
look
It's
at,
just saying bro was right. Hats off, Mike.
yep,
So that's A, right?
yeah, he was right. So let me, for those who didn't get it, so we have f is equal to p times a numerator divided by I, right? If we want to find what p is, which is what they asked us, we just divide both sides by a over I. F divided by a over I is the same thing as f times I over a, because as you know with fractions, if you're dividing a, you're dividing a by b over c, that is a times c over b, which is ac over b. Same thing we did here. F divided by a over I is f times I over a. This is fi over a, which is equal to p, and that answer choice was indeed there. Let's see if we can do one more. I know time's going. Hopefully this one is easy. If m divided by 2n is equal to 2, what is the value of n over 2m? This one's funny. See how well you guys do.
So the answer is a half.
The answer is a half. How
Yes.
did you get that so fast?
All right. It always says that
Amazing.
m over 2n is equals to 2, but what they're asking us for is a flip version, so we just flip the answer as well. 2 is 2 over 1. So n over 2n is the same as a half.
Yeah, but
Sir?
it was m over 2n, right? M over
Oh,
2.
sorry, I didn't notice that.
That's fine, that's fine. Anyone else? C. What did you get, C?
Hold on, m over n is equals to 4. M over n is equals to 4. I just multiplied both sides by 2 to lose a 2 in the denominator. If m over n is 4, then 2 times. Sir, my answer is 1/8. Sir?
The answer is what?
Yes, my answer is A, 1/8.
Why? Explain.
All right, my explanation. All right, since we have 2 in the denominator, we need to get rid of that thing so we can have purely variables. So I multiplied both sides by 2 to get m over n equals 4. 4 is the same as 4 over 1, so m over n equals 4. If m over n equals 4, it means n over m now is 1 over 4, and since it is n over 2m, it's 1 over 2 times 4, 1 over 8.
Very good, very good. A, you also got 1A. Okay, very good. Okay. For those who didn't understand, I'll head to the whiteboard. M over 2n equal to. So it's M. You guys can see my whiteboard, right? 2n.
Yes,
equal
sir.
to- Right? So, and they're asking us for what n over 2m is. So, as he said, we get rid of the 2 here in the denominator by multiplying both sides by 2. Get m over n is equal to 4, right? But the answer we're looking for has the reciprocal of m over n, right? So n over m is equal to 1 over 4. Therefore, n over 2m is equal to 1 over 8. This is just one way to do it. You could do it, I think, at least 2 other ways I can think of right now. But this way should work. If anyone is confused, I'll do another one, I guess. Start that changes course right about here. No, it's the one that changes course even earlier. So m over n is equal to 4. This means m is equal to 4n. And we want n divided by 2m. So we can do m equal 4n. So we can divide both sides by m, right? 1 is equal to 4n over m. I think this way is even goofier than the original, but we'll see. N over m, but we want n over 2m, right? So we divide both sides by 4. 1 over 4 is equal to n over m, right? 1 over 4 is equal to n over m. Now let's look at n divided by 2n and see what's going on here with n over m. So in order, what is actually happening here is that n over m is being multiplied by a half, right? So if we want to multiply n over m by a half, we also have to multiply 1 over 4 by a half. So that's how we get 1 over 8 is equal to n over 2n. And you can work it in other ways. That our base guard does different versions of the same thing right here, but you get the gist. You can share your option if you do it over voice, because the meeting has to end back immediately.
What if we say m is equal to 2 and 2n is equal to 2? Then we find the value of n by dividing both sides by 2. Then n will give us 1. Then we just substitute in n over 2m.
Repeat that. Start from the top.
Okay. M is equal to 2 and 2n is equal to 2 as well. Then we find the value of n
Wait,
by
if
dividing both
m,
sides.
m is equal to 2 and 2n is equal to 2,
Yes. Then we
then
divide both.
that would make this wrong,
Okay.
right? Because that would mean that it would be 2 divided by 2, and that would not give you 2, that would give you 1. So your premise is wrong. What you could do is make m1, you could make m1, and you could make 2n, no, you could make m be 4 and n be 1. So then you'd get 2, right? So if m is equal to 4 and n is equal to 1, then boom, you have 2, right? So we can work with these numbers. Therefore, what is n over 2m? As we said, n is equal to 1, m is equal to 4, so it's 2 times 4, 1 over 8. So yes, that's how I would do it if I'm doing the whole substitution. And it's honestly faster. It's faster than the 2 methods before. So yeah, good choice with that method. Good job. That works also. But that's it for the session today. Thank you guys for attending and being great participants. I hope I could
Thanks
help
for
you know, and I guess I'll see you next week. Thanks for attending and have a great remainder of your weekend.
Thank you, and the same to you, sir.
you. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks again. Ciao.
Yeah.